As much as I am a homebody, I will tell you sometimes it's worth it to get out of the house and make connections in real life. So I got my butt out of this house, drove over 40 minutes into the city to meet with some amazing speakers that are in the National Speaker Association Georgia chapter. And by the time I left, I had amazing conversations, built new connections. I was able to share about my book and my speaking. I was able to give value in the space. And actually, the president of the chapter, y'all, recognized me from a YouTube video that I did months, probably even close to a year ago. He recognized me, my book, and the things that I had been sharing. And that's just so cool to see. Like, it's on YouTube, so I'm thinking, just random people are seeing it, but to meet people in real life that see the impact that you're making, that liked what you were talking about, and like can make that in-person connection, it just reminded me to stay on the course to this journey. Speaking of, I'm about to be 30 days on YouTube every day, y'all. Clap for you, girl. We got more to go, but my first milestone was to make it to 30 days, which will be tomorrow. So I'm so excited, and I will probably do a video on that tomorrow. But the in person connections are so important because you can just begin to fuel ideas and make stronger relationships than you ever could simply online. And I know these days it's easy for us to just pop up our laptop, and even a part of what I do with people when it comes to not just networking with colleagues, but to find business opportunities with corporations. Of course, a part of it is making those online connections, but over the past, I would say maybe year or month or so, I started to show people how they can incorporate their in-person influence more now that I have been doing it. And when I say we've got a trifecta that I'm so excited about, because the in person is really like the supercharge, and you really want to have a team that is working the email follow ups or some automation that's doing that type of thing for you on the back end in an ethical way, which we were talking about tonight at the event, just how you get on LinkedIn. People are always sending you these pitches. They don't even take a moment to look at your profile or to look at what they're sending, right? And as I was listening to these people, this is something for you. As I was listening to these people talk, it wasn't that people were reaching out that bothered them. It was the quality and the content and the context in which people were reaching out. They didn't read the profile. They didn't even change the year 2025 to 2026, right? So it showed no care, no customization. And they also mentioned, like, as soon as you add the person, here they are, sending you a message or sending you a pitch, right? That's not something that's well accepted, which is why don't listen to these people that just tell you get on LinkedIn. You got to have a system. You got to have a structure. You got to have a way to be able to get through that noise. It's a good and a bad thing. People are apprehensive about messages, but it's a good thing, because if you just even put one unique spin, you stand out from the sea of people just sending 100 messages a day and hoping that they get a hit. So that was one key thing that I wanted to bring back from the conversation to y'all, so that it's not just me saying it. That is the true experience for these people that get these messages that could very well be clients of these people who are reaching out, but it's just not landing. So that was one thing. And then I just enjoyed being able to go back and forth and share my experience as an entrepreneur and things that I've seen work, and get feedback and things shared with me. I was able to get connected with a wealth advisor. I was able to share my book, and just learn about this amazing organization and how I could contribute and also get value, which is great, right? I think it's a twofold when you can be a part of something where it's a two-way street, right? You're giving something, they're getting something, and we're just all winning. So that was something else that I learned in that space together. And just watching how people just kind of circled the room, right? Everyone was very warm, very friendly. Let's not talk about the fact that when I first came in, they were having two events at the restaurant. I ended up on the side with the people who were having a singles speed dating mixer. As soon as I sat down and I saw the papers, I was like, oh no, in the wrong space. So I ended up coming over to them, and the president introduced me to everyone. And it was just a great time. Great people, great connections. I was talking with a woman that worked at a university that hadn't got into speaking yet, but she was really interested. She was really there supporting her husband. And so just very warm people to connect with, and nothing substitutes that in-person connection. If you feel stuck, one of the things that I did at the end of the year, last quarter of the year, is I was like, I'm getting out once a week, right? Even if it's just going up to Starbucks. First of all, did we know that you can do for here in Starbucks and they actually give you a mug for your drink? I did not know that. So until I went and worked there one day, and I'm like, how did they get the mugs? And I'm like, okay, let me say for here, and then got the mug. Benefits of the program. I love it. So anyway, going out once a week was my goal for last quarter. And it's something that I'm incorporating again now on a different cadence, but that ability to get out, it helps you to sharpen your message more. You can see feedback, right? When we're talking on these social media platforms, of course you get comments, but sometimes people view things and they may be feeling or thinking things and they may not comment, right? But when you're in the room and you can communicate what you do, you can see how people pick it up. You can see what their feedback is. You can get that real time. Okay, did this hit or did this not? Can I further hone this in, or is this right on target? So that swiftness, not just making connections to get opportunities, but even the swiftness of like testing your messaging is very valuable. And being there to be of service to people. As I was driving in, well, actually before I left, I was thinking about, or no, this is on the drive, what my intentions were for the event. And I said, I want to meet 3 new people. And I'm looking to at least uncover one opportunity, right? No matter what that was, speaking opportunity, obviously a connection, something, some fruit from this, right? Not just going in and hoping for the best, but I'm expecting at least something that is going to be fruitful. And I got that and more. And I believe that I was a blessing to other people that I was speaking with in the same way, that they got an idea or just a connection that was of value to them as well. So all in all, I enjoyed it. It was a great use of time to get with an organization just from a tactical perspective of speakers who are actually in the game, who are booked. Like one of the women pulled up her calendar and she was like, all these green ones are where I'm booked to speak, my paid, speaking engagements. And so to see people doing things at the level that you want to continue to do them at is inspirational. But it also is good to be in that space because it's like, you're next, right? There's the group rises together, right? They say, when you hang around, if you hang around 2 broke people, you're going to be the third. So if you hang around 2 people who are prospering and doing what it is that you want to do, you'll be the third, right? So I'm thinking about joining the organization and seeing what value again that I can add and vice versa. One of the things someone asked me that was I thinking about joining, I was like, I really just found out about this yesterday. But my main point of decision making to let me know if I am going to join or not comes down to, is this one aligned, which it is from a speaking standpoint? And also, what is the ROI that I am getting, right? And that doesn't just have to be in the sense of, oh, did I get dollars? Am I making new connections? Am I moving my objectives forward? Am I learning something? One of the biggest things the gaps that I've seen in myself with my investments is that I went into them not as clear on what my ROI would be, right? Of course, you hear what the person puts together on their sales page of what the ROI is and all of that. but I didn't create my own ROI that I'm holding myself accountable to getting. We don't talk about that. We want to get people to promise us the world, but what is the ROI standard that we have for ourselves when we're going into these investments? What exactly does success look like for you? Because what they say on the sales page, or, if they're promoting their membership or whatever, they're going to say all these different benefits. But for you, what is going to make it worth it for you? And is this avenue going to be the way to provide that? That's the way that I'm thinking about investments now. Before, I think it was very emotional in some ways, like, well, I don't want to miss out, or this is going to be great, or I really like this person, and this is my person, and all of that is great. And this is money and resources that we're spending, right? This is time away from your family that you're spending. This is resources that you're taking away from your family that you're spending. It's not just enough for me to like or just want to be like, I need to know that this is moving my objective forward in some way. And my expectation is like Denzel, I'm from round away. I'm leaving here with something, okay? Something, a contact, a relationship, an opportunity, further training that's not just going to live in my head, but something I can take and make it actionable. All of that for me in 2026 has to be very clear. And I'm holding myself to that own standard with my clients. Like, that's a question that I've always asked, but what does success look like to you? What are your goals here? I know what we sold, but for you, what would success look like for you? And that's what we are reverse engineering, because it doesn't matter if I say, you're setting up your system to get corporate contracts if you get the system and that's really not what you expected, right? If that's really not the goal, you know what I'm saying, that you ultimately wanted. I want to know, what is it that you truly desire? And if it's misaligned, then we have to have a conversation. But if it is aligned, we're going to make that thing happen. But we can't if we're not clear. And I believe that taking that into every investment is going to change not only the outcome, but also just make me more decisive in the things that I decide to move forward with. Because a lot of things can sound good. A lot of things can feel good. But I know that I've made some that have just been like, I could have done without that, right? I could have, but it all taught me a lesson. I will not say, oh, that was a bad investment. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I will not say that, because I understand that it taught me something. It taught me where I was leaking my own power. Might have been an expensive lesson, but we will take it as a lesson. So all in all, that's where I am with it, if I'm going to join or not. I know that I'll be going to their next meeting, which is literally in a week from now. So I'm going to check it out. I heard that the meetings are like just on a whole nother level. And so we'll see. Is it a place that my investment is going to work for me? And I would challenge you to think about it in the same ways. Like, let's stop getting into things and not pulling for what we're expecting to see. Sometimes people don't know. Sometimes people don't know what's missing or what gaps you may be filling, right? They may be delivering on a thing, but you may feel like, something isn't working for me. And so you have to be willing to speak up and make sure that you are getting your return. And that's what I've been focused on. Like, I'm not sitting silently anymore. If it's not working, I'm like, hey, look, we're going to have to figure this out, because again, I'm leaving here with something. And I am firm about that. I'm committed to that, because it is not on the other person always. What accountability do you take to get your result? Okay, this wasn't the topic of this video. It was really just about learnings from getting out of the house and encouraging you to get out, meet people, as long as it's aligned with your objective that you have, your focus is for the year, and it's a place that you should be. I think it's worth it to get that in real life. Relax, drinks, appetizers type of mode, and just talk to people, and you'll just find that just creates some really good relationships that, again, are beneficial, hopefully both ways. All right. That's day 29. I'll see y'all tomorrow for day 30. Let's have a little party to celebrate 30 days daily on YouTube. And you always know you can check the description for more on how to work with me and all the things. Talk to you soon.